Hello, how's it going? My name's Tyson Willard. I'm doing some repairs in our home as we're getting ready to move, and one of the repairs that I'm doing is fixing some popcorn ceiling. First time I've ever done it, and I figured I'd give a tutorial on what I found was helpful and useful and try to make the best of it. I looked up some blogs and some other YouTube videos and just didn't find one that was 100% what I was looking for. But from what I did read from blogs, which were the most helpful, they gave several tips. They said roller or brush. Most of them said brush was the best. A lot of the YouTube videos I did come across showed a roller. But after using the brush technique, I would say that was the best technique. So what I had to work with was this texture, ceiling texture here, popcorn finish. This was the only one they had in Lowe's or Home Depot in our town. I went to both stores. They only had one style, and this is all I had to work with, which was not the best because the popcorn ceiling that we have on the ceiling is large. The popcorn pieces, the little foam in there, are large pieces, and this one is, I would call, a small popcorn finish. I didn't have the mixer or the spray on. I wasn't going to pay rent money for that as we're trying to budget with moving. So I just mixed it up in my bucket to a consistency that was like that. It would stick on my brush and would drip if it was heavy, but not enough. Just, you know, enough consistency to be sticky. And then I'm a guy that's impatient sometimes, that's for sure. And the brush just wasn't fast enough, so I got my spatula here and gobbed it on there. Now, I'll tell you this, it makes a mess. Because as you do that, the area that I repaired here, as you can see with the different coloration here before I paint it, it turned out pretty good, not too bad. But I had this entire area right here to fix. So a very large area, which is very noticeable. As you can see from a distance, it turned out fairly good. As you can see right in this area here, it's not as bumpy as this area. And so what I did with my spatula is I just kind of put it on thick. It went all over the floor, all over our table. So I definitely put a drop cloth down. But one thing I found was I'd take my brush and I'd scrape off the excess, and in those areas like here where you see the larger, which kind of blends in more with what's over here, I would just go like this after I put it on, and it would kind of give it that texture look to make it blend in more. Oh, see, it's messy, it gets everywhere. Got on my lip, got on my face now. But that's the best technique, is just smear it on nice and thick as you need. On the edges where I was trying to match, it would be heavy, so I'd just brush it back off that edge, and then I would just go like this. And I kind of try to do it back and forth because I was getting lines so that you could see a pattern like a zebra striped. And so I just went across and went like this and switched it up a little bit so I wouldn't get the lines, and tried making it a little bumpier as I went, and that's what got it to blend in a lot more. But as you can see, this area over here, which I think I can tell it's a little bit thin, so I may need to put a little bit more on my brush from my bucket and thicken that area up there to try to get it a little bumpier, more ridge, so it blends in more with the rest of it. See, that works a lot better. Now it's starting to look like this side over here and blend in a lot more. And once I paint it, you won't have that discoloration, but it's coming along quite well. So that's the technique I found to be the best. And hopefully that helps if you have to repair popcorn ceiling. The other thing I read a lot on is other people say just take it all off. which I can understand. But if you have a roof like this that's had ceiling damage in the past, before my wife bought this house, they had roof leak, and that's why the popcorn ceiling peeled. And she has some other areas that have been fixed, and the popcorn ceiling, it hides that and blends it in. So there is a benefit to keeping it. That way it looks the nicest it possibly can. Hopefully this tutorial helped you with popcorn ceiling. Good luck, and hopefully you don't make as much of a mess as I did.